I'll keep it short and simple. If you're looking for the most premium gaming-focused keyboard build, the ROG Azoth Extreme by Asus is the one to beat. But it has some pitfalls you might want to tune in to know about. Let's quickly take a look at it. Disclosure: Asus lent me this unit for a week for me to be able to capture it, record it, and develop my thoughts. So treat this as you will, as a first impression and not a full review of sorts. I only have so much time with this keyboard. Thanks to Asus for sending this out for me to review. You're watching this with the perspective of a non-gamer, but a huge keyboard enthusiast, so this should be interesting. Anyways, in the premium looking box, we are first greeted with the board itself, still hidden inside a cloth. A pamphlet containing all the manuals and warranty information, as well as the heaps of accessories for the board, such as the USB, keycap and switch puller combo, the Type-C cable, and magnetically attached feet. And finally, the board itself. The ROG Azoth Extreme is a high-end, even for the price, gaming keyboard made by the one and only Asus, a staple in the gaming community. With it comes features that are catered to gamers, of which we'll find out later. For now, let's talk about size. At the front, it's an exploded 75% with the function rows squeezed into the left to accommodate the bright 1.47-inch OLED screen on the right, which houses several functions like the animation picker, GIF player, settings for the board, and not to mention the volume controls, which are all controlled by the knob-like 3-stage button design on the right side. Speaking of which, we've got an edgy and fairly striking side profile with all these angles and screws. On the rear lives a recessed Type-C port and mode toggle, as well as the ROG badge embossed on the middle. To the back, we have a spot for the magnetic metal feet, which are included in the box. And then to the middle, leaves a magnetic compartment that houses the tri-mode dongle, branded under the SuperNOVA name, which claims to be able to send off 8 kHz of polling rate to the computer wirelessly. Build-wise, I've got no complaints. It's super rigid and sturdy. It weighs 2.2 kg with a wrist rest, but without it, it's a bit lighter. It's not the heaviest board I've dealt with, but it sure is premium feeling. Arguably, one of its main highlights and main downfall is the PCB. Let's get basics out of the way. It's perky RGB, hot swap with 3 to 5 pins, but sadly uses the north-facing configuration, which means it will interfere with cherry keycaps. This is a sacrifice on the Enthusiast feature, as this will accommodate shine-through caps even better. But I guess they made a choice for this, and I'm quite not fond of it. It's also not VIA compatible, but I'll excuse them on that, as the controls for the OLED, and the speed of which this sends out signals, may really warrant the need for a dedicated software, such as Asus' own Armoury Crate. As for mounting, it's thankfully gasket mount with heaps of foams inside, as well as in the spacebar for added sound isolation. The plate is carbon fiber, which isn't the most flexible material, but it produces quite clacky sounds paired up with the switches and keycaps. Speaking of switches, I've got mine in the NX series linears, which are fast actuating preload switches out of the box. It's alright for the most part, but I feel Asus a bit lagging behind on this department, as gaming keyboards with Hall effect switches are more the norm and the de facto to be called a gaming keyboard. I hope this gets revised soon enough, and for existing Azoth users, I hope they offer a replacement PCB that takes the benefits of it being Hall effect as opposed to being the standard Cherry MX. Moving over to the keycaps, as opposed to the previous gaming keyboards, these are shine-through caps in the double-shot PBT material, which means little to no fingerprint oil or shine in the long term. A good move in my opinion. It also has sub-legends printed on the front side of the keyboard for easier layering, and it's thick for the most part. Trying it out on gaming, I was pleasantly surprised of its performance. Though this may be just placebo effect on my end, I find it funny though that I got 3rd place and 1st place on Apotres on this board in a row, then 1st place in CSGO Deathmatch right after that. I think gaming performance in this is trivial at best, but then again, I'm a non-gamer, so take that with a grain of salt. It's a great board with great specs for a gaming keyboard. I just wish it was Hall effect so that it could really reap the benefits of adjustable actuation points. As a gaming keyboard first, I wanted to know how it sounds compared to my endgame board, which is the Artifact, as well as a budget pre-built board, which is the Galaxy 80. These are all stock. Have a listen. As a non-gamer, I happen to love my time with the Asus ROG Azoth Extreme. It serves a big market of gamers, of which predominantly don't want to know or even tinker about boards. This board seems to check a lot of boxes for them and can serve as a great premium board that will be the end-all and be-all for those types of users. For its price, I don't think I can afford it, especially that there's tons of budget boards out in the market, specifically ones with Hall effect switches. If Asus re-releases this with an updated PCB, that would sound great. For now, it's a great contender for a premium gaming keyboard. How about you? What do you think of the Azoth Extreme? Let me know down below. I'm John J. Mimaba, and I'll see you in the next video.